Should I go? Hi, hello everyone. Thank you for being here at 6:30 p.m. for the last talk. But it's the last one, but it's a good fit because it's a talk for the future, I hope. So I want to talk about this new idea that is in my mind, which is called possibly BAAM, blockchain as a medium. And also, I'm very happy to talk about it here so that I can also hear, this is something that needs to be built brand new, so hopefully we can put our ideas together and do it together. That's a very nice place to talk about it. My name is Eleonora. I'm a crypto art curator, and I founded BREEZY, which is a art curation hub, really like a habitat for Web3. And I do support the builders and the creators of the decentralized world, which we often forget about, but this is what the blockchain is used for. And so I started in 2018, so I just wanted to say that I really do care about NFTs and what they have been doing, what they're doing now, where we are coming from, and the blockchain. I really believe in the blockchain technology. And so the fact that I called the talk phase 2 doesn't mean that I don't care about phase 1. I actually love it. And that's why before talking about it, maybe we can do a little introduction to our past that we must know to understand our future. So this is just going to be, I'm not going to talk about this for too long because otherwise we're going to be here forever. But this beautiful map that Isa Cost created, Isa Cost, she's an artist from Dada Collective. So this map is displayed at the Meet Digital Culture Center at the moment in Milan. It's huge on the wall, and it is the result, like a visual, like a debrief about what we have done, actually together with Fanny as well, who's here last year, and Dada, of course, because they were the organizers of the show. And Judith is here as well. I'm a huge contributor of documenting history. So for the historical NFT festival that happened in Barcelona in October 2022, that Dada organized, we did a research and we tried to combine 4 timelines that were already existing, documenting like NFTs, the history of NFTs from 2011 up to 2019 included. The 4 timelines that we combined were by Martin Lucas, Ostachowski, Black Star, White Rabbit, and Leonidas. We know that at the moment, this is the most not this one. We have a real proper timeline, which is aligned on the Dada website, and which is being verified since October until now. Each entry has been verified on chain. We know that it's the most comprehensive documentation that exists till now. And I think that it's very important not to forget where we are coming from without being nostalgic. I'm just going to say, just going through the map with a little few points before we can talk about the future of the blockchain. So I'm just going to go to the map. It was fantastic while we were doing the research to understand how many things happen that we, even if you think that you know the space, you actually don't realize how everything is influenced by other things. And I'm just going to guide you through a few of them. I think that one of the most interesting things to know starts here in 2015 with Spells of Genesis, where we had a talk with Joe Looney, who is the creator of the Pepe wallet. We didn't realize that Spells of Genesis and Rare Pepe completely changed what a digital asset means basically in society and like our relationship with it. Why? Because what happened with Spells of Genesis, which you all know it was a video game, and with like trading cards. So basically for the first time, someone thought, can I actually own the card? Like, can I actually buy it and own it? And it was like the the switch of mindset where people started to collect like digital assets. So that happened with Spelzogenesis. And then a step further, the rare papers came in 2016, and for the first time, now the people were used to trade these actually tokenized cards on the Bitcoin blockchain. Then with the rare papers, actually what happened was that for the first time, someone thought, oh, can I actually create my own digital card? It's fantastic. It's like, it's not that simple if you think about it. And so, you know, all these like nerds on Telegram group chats, you know, Mike, who created the first card, the Nakamoto Pepe, then he posted the card in the chat, and then people started to ask, oh, but you created your own card? Maybe I can create mine. And so for the first time, we have people, all the creators, thinking and understanding that they can actually create their own digital assets. This is why it's important to know these stories, and then we can, you know, proceed and talk about this forever. But like, how did we start to collect, and how did we start to create? And then, of course, the CryptoPunks, who are everything. They are one of the main reasons why we're all here. They started the standard that we're all using today. It was not done yet, but ERC 721 exists because of them. And then we have Dada here in 2017 as well, using ERC 20 from the CryptoPunks. So they used the code of the CryptoPunks for the historic collection in 2017. But what happened is that Dada was an art collective, and they really wanted to understand how to capture value for the artists in the future. So what actually happened was that they created royalties. What we all know today, like royalties, was created by Dada in 2017. So you see that we're already getting there. And then I think that another nice thing to observe we observed when we were doing this research was to have an overview about how much more experimental it was at the beginning, where people really like experimented with files and tokens. What is a token? The token is the art, etc. Compared to today, when we could kind of call it like a fine art came into the space. So then here you have in 2018, of course, like all the platforms are born, and here you have the CryptoKitties, which actually created the 721, and also, you know, probably the only project that was able to shut down the Ethereum blockchain for an entire night, etc. And then until getting here where we are today. So this was just like an excursus of, you know, a little bit of history to get to talk about what I want to talk about today. And so now that we are all using NFTs, we know what NFTs are, and the space got very, you know, like it's becoming mainstream, and I'm very happy about it. I think that it is the time to keep pushing a little bit. And as an art curator, doing this for a few years, my personal interest is focused on what we can actually do with the blockchain that we haven't done until today. I think that we use a little like percentage of the potential that this technology has, and that I, again, really believe in. And so what I will be interested in from now on is to concentrate my efforts and research and creation and like gathering artists and creatives to you know, like to create this space that we think we are missing, where the blockchain is used as a medium to create art. So up until today, there already are, of course, artists who are using the blockchain as a medium. There are very few. I had a call with Ria Meyers saying, you know, like, yeah, I would say like maybe there are 10 artists, and she was like, Eleonora, what? I know about 8. Maybe you can tell me who these 10 artists are. Of course, there. Maybe we don't know about them, but it's very few people. And just to give you a few examples, for instance, Ria Meyers, who started a long time ago, it's more conceptual art, and I think that, of course, art is always at the front of everything and can be used to understand not only the technology, but what we can do with this technology, which is involvement. It's not only distribution, decentralization, of course, distribution of power, but also like social experiments, you know, for people to participate, because participation is freedom. So for instance, like Rhea, this is an example of an artwork, and it's from 2014, Bitcoin transaction. She proved that God existed, and because she put put God on chain. Or for instance, this other project, which is a democratic palette, very cool project, which is an actual palette of 12 colors, and anyone can set the palette on the Ethereum blockchain by like voting with transaction. And then every vote for every color is tracked, and the top 12 make up the palette. So it is participation. It is, again, through this fantastic technology and through art, because we all know that if we code and technology, people don't really understand anything, but with art, people can understand the universe. So just like putting these two very powerful things together, for instance, we can engage people in, you know, like, I don't know, maybe exercising democracy in a different way. Another artist that I wanted to talk about is Sarah Friend, and then we're going to talk about the Plantoid. So both Sarah Friend's project and the Plantoid are two like life forms living on the blockchain. So for instance, Sarah Friend, like life forms are NFT based entities, and so you have to take care of them because they're alive. It's lives. And in order to take care of them, you have to, after 90 days that you have, first of all, everyone can create a live farm. It's public. And then, if you want for the live farm to survive, after 90 days, you have to give it away. If you don't give it away, the live farm is going to die. So it's going to be burned, and you cannot take it back anymore. And again, it's also an exercise of, like, I don't know, even social responsibility through a very fun project. So this is the Plantoid. I'm going to talk now about Plantoid by Primavera di Filippi, and then the Dadagan, which is the bot. I wouldn't say by Dada because it's it's autonomous. And then about Operator, and these three artists will be part of an event that we're going to have in Milan, and they're going to present to you next week at the Digital Culture Center of Milan. So Plantoid, which is actually from 2015. Plantoid is very old. Plantoid is a life form, blockchain-based life form. He has two souls. He has a physical soul, so you see this like mechanical flower. It's a sculpture, and then he has, like the other soul, which is a smart contract. And so as a plant, it's a plantoid, but as a plant, so as a living being, it needs to be fed. And the way that you feed the plantoid is through transactions. So once that you feed the plantoid is going to actually physically react. So the two souls are connected. And what happens is there are different kinds of plantoids. So for instance, there is one plantoid displayed in Rome, which creates music. So you feed the plantoid with a transaction, and the plantoid is going to move. It's going to create a piece of music, and the music becomes an NFT. So you receive an NFT. And the one that we're going to show in Rome is actually going to create like oracles. So, Primavera already bought like this printer that she's going to connect to the plantoid, and it's going to print a message for you. So there is a dialogue between all this, like with humans and the plantoid, which is actually very much alive, and it is our responsibility for this thing to either survive or function. Again, like think about how many things, it's not about learning, but it's very sensitive projects that are only possible through this technology. Then there is the Dadagan, which is another experiment. It's a bot, and they're having a talk right now. I mean, the Dadagan is talking right now in a different stage, which I invite you to check. Dadagan was born in 2019, and it is an AI project. It was trained out of 115,000 drawings on Dada, so it draws like Dada. It was very funny at the beginning. Dada, they even had riots on the Dada platform because artists were against the Dadagan at the beginning. It was 2019 was very early for this, and so also using the blockchain in a different way, because the Dada gun is a bot, but it is actually tokenizing its own art. Besides doing its own market, now it's been trained in its language with ChatGPT, etc. So another way to use the blockchain and see how actually we can have autonomous being tokenizing its own art. And then operator, another use of the blockchain. I'm sure that you all know about this drop that happened a couple of weeks ago, and which was very successful. And as I wrote on my Twitter, it's not because the market is back, it's just because the project was fantastic, I think, that it went so well. So for instance, I'm not going to explain the entire project by operator because they're going to talk tomorrow about it. But for me, what was interesting, besides the in the many steps that this project has, was the fact that the final art, like the core, is on chain, and it's the choreography score. So the choreography score that you're gonna get is on chain, and collectors can even choose, performers or to perform the art. The art is on chain. It's generative. They use 4 different materials like glass, light, X-ray, and the body. And we can talk about this forever. But the blockchain was not used just to mint the NFT. The blockchain holds this human body created and plus code choreography. So this is the result, which is fantastic. Okay, so this is the show that we are having in Milan, again, at the Digital Culture Center. It's a Dada perspective because it's not a retrospective, because Dada is a collective of artists very much alive, and they're shaping the future of art. So it's a perspective on many points. And on the occasion of this show, we will have this appointment at the theater, which is the something that is starting my, I am the curator of this, something that is starting my research and focus on this BAAM thing, the blockchain used as a medium. And this is very cool. It's about authorship through AI and blockchain. So we're still debating, about the narrative of the night, but truly is, for instance, I don't know, Primavera thinks that, the art should be liberated from the artist. It's enough with the artist at the center of the scene. The art is independent, while, for instance, the Dada collective, the artist is at the center of everything. So it's precisely the opposite. So when you talk about authorship, it's very interesting. And with operators doing experiential aperitivo, we called it. It's going to be an experience with scores game. And for operator, the artist, without the people experiencing what they create, the art doesn't exist. So the people are the artists. And that's another different way to look at authorship. And all of this is through the blockchain. So if you have any ideas, creative coders, curators, artists, and we want to build this thing together, because I don't think that there is a space for this in our own space, I think that we should all keep pushing and sort of redeem this technology that we unfortunately destroyed, and that we had something that could change the world, and we a little bit replicated what already existed, but there are some people who think that it's too late, that I know very well. I don't think that it's too late. I think that we can do it. This is first draft of the logo for this space, BAAM, made by Mattia Cuttini, who is the god of logos and graphics. And thank you. Thank you so much.